Xbox that wasn't playing correctly. Because now I see the stream. So can you see it, Burton? Easy now. Alright, so I see a stream now. Everything looks pretty good on my end. So, to recap what I just did a few minutes ago before I figured out that nothing was working right. Alright, thank you very much. Appreciate that. I went and dropped off 2 metal beams. So the contract cabins number are glitched. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'd heard it was glitched. It wasn't supposed to be that much, but 2 different individuals on YouTube said that it was fixed. And let me take a look at the other contract. So this one says 2 cabins. And that one says 2 cabins. So it did say, one of them said 30 cabins. Ah, and this one says 3 cabins. Okay, so up there it says, the one I'm doing now, says that it's 15 cabins is required, but down here it says 3 cabins. So that's more like it. I can deal with that. So what I'm guessing is they just haven't fixed the what it shows up in the upper right hand corner of the screen. Yeah, they show 15 when I'm tracking them. Which I had 6 cabins over at on the other map at the cabin factory. But all the ones that I had in there have now disappeared since the update. So we'll start all over on it. No biggie. I know where I can get free containers, and I have a lot of rolled steel. So I did earlier today, I got on, downloaded some mods, tried some mods out, and there's some cool mods that I like. So I decided to try some of the maps. I downloaded a couple of them the other night, but I haven't tried them. And there were a couple of more maps that looked kind of pretty cool. Sounded cool, I should say that. So I downloaded them. One of them is the one that's got 4 maps. And we'll take a look at that here in a bit. But yeah, I downloaded that. And in order to play those maps, you actually have to have an open you have to have an empty save slot, and I didn't have any because I've got my original playthrough, and then I've got the speed run, I've got my hardcore, and then I've got the impossimander. So I made a decision. I went ahead and took out or resaved over the original when I had all the trucks on. Yeah, I'm gonna go back in further. And let me switch up. Around gathering all the resources and took them to the road steel factory. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So you took them all to the places they need to go, and then shuttled from there. I did that. Well, like I said, when my game, when they updated, I lost trucks, and I also lost everything that I had at the garage or that I'd put in any of the storage places. They were all empty. But the other storage places, and I'll show you here. Let's see, global map. So we'll take a quick look at this. So the other storage areas, the warehouses that I had gotten things from, they refilled. Like this one refilled with everything. So did the other warehouses. So I don't know what the deal was, but everything I had stored here disappeared, along with trailers and trucks and all that good stuff. So I was able to get some stuff from there. Nope. Let's see, go to old steel. So that's helped out a little bit. That's where I got the two beams that I had on the truck when I first started. They were at the other warehouse just on the other side of the tunnel. So I was able to collect those. And one more. Actually, I'm going to take a whole load over there. That way I have them there. But yeah, like I was saying, I went and downloaded that one map, or that one mod that had the 4 maps, and it basically crashed my game. It took me about an hour to get the game to work. I don't know what's up with that. I went on and tried another map, and it crashed my game too. So I don't believe I will be doing trying any other maps out. Not till I give them some time to see if I can work through these bugs. But yeah, it locked my game up solid. I mean, I couldn't get anything. I had to actually, I have a disc, because that's what I could get at the time. And I had to take the disc out, shut the Xbox down, unplug it for a while, and it took me doing that 3 times to get. Pay attention to what I'm doing. It took me 3 times to actually get the game to start working again. Now the modded trailers, I haven't had a bit of problem out of those. But the maps, yeah. Some kind of issue with them, and it might just be an Xbox thing. But for my Xbox, because I've got an older, it's a Xbox One S, and it might be too much for it. But I did get to play the first of that series of maps, and honestly I wasn't all that impressed with it. I thought it would be bigger, but it's really not that big. So I guess I was expecting something the size of this, maybe, or the size of Michigan. But the first map I got on was about half the size of Michigan, and it was mostly rocks. Plus, I couldn't use any of my other vehicles other than the downloaded ones. And like I said, just wasn't impressed with it. So I think I'll wait before I do any more modded maps and let them figure out some of these bugs. So they are deleting your mod trucks and your money's wasted? Yeah. I think they still have some major issues with the mods. And I think one of the, that one I was telling you about has the 4 maps. When I downloaded, I got on the first map with the Chevy that they give you. And I tried driving around it, and it was a pain in the butt. Now they gave you basically unlimited money. So I went back to the garage, I bought the Lodestar, but I could not put any upgrades on. There were no upgrades available, so you're basically driving a stock Lodestar. And I went around the map for about 15 minutes, and it beat that Lodestar up so bad that it was sitting there. I'd used all the repair points, and I had to recover it back to the garage. So then I got out that wrecker mod, and when I got it out, started driving it, I probably didn't go 100 yards and the game just stopped. It would not go any further. And then, like I said, every time I got out of the game, come back in it, it would take me right back to that one location, and everything would be locked up. Plus, even to get to that map, once I downloaded it, the game just did not want to let me play it. So anyway, I got rid of it. I unsubscribed to the mod, got the game working, and I had already started a playthrough with it. So I started a brand new one. And as soon as I went into settings, my Xbox locked up again. So I had to unplug it, take the game out, and go back into it. And then I played it a little bit more today, and haven't had any problems with it since. But I think it's got to be that mod. Like I said, I did run around with the trailers, the trailer mod that I downloaded. I really like those trailers. And that one that's a 3 cargo trailer, it shows that you can only put one piece of cargo on it, but I was able to put a steel and a wood on it to help me unlock some of the map. And I think what I'm going to do with that playthrough is maybe once a week, just open it up and do co-ops. Let anybody join that wants to. Unfortunately, it'll only be people with Xboxes, but maybe someday they'll get around to making them compatible to computers and Xboxes and PlayStations too. You never know. But that would be nice if it was cross-platform. But it's a dream. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. I have to take it to That's concrete. And rolled steel factory is that way. So on down the road and straight into it. That's not too far of a drive. And I think what I'll probably do off camera is just shuttle steel back and forth and take all of the rolled steel that I can find and take it to the rolled steel factory. Even if I don't need to make anything, if I didn't, no, there was no missions that needed rolled steel. Yeah, I might as well take them all over there. Or half of them over there, and then what I need for the cabins I can put at the cabin factory. And I know I'm almost out of gas. This thing is just drinking fuel now. Pretty much an alarming rate it's going through fuel. So I believe what I'm going to do is get one of the other trucks that I have a fuel tanker for and bring it over and park it over here. So, beams. And stop you. Because I do have to bring a truck over here that has a crane on it. I got the Voron AE sitting over here. So get it out of the way, so I don't have any issues coming out of the garage with the next truck. I haven't had that issue. I heard people talking about they've had issues with when they come out of the garage and there's another vehicle sitting there that it messes them up. Fuel tanker. Well, how convenient. But I've never had that issue. Not saying I won't in the future, but handbrake helps. There's also another mod out there that makes it to where you can take some of the other trailers, like the coiled trailer, and you can actually buy that trailer and it still looks like the coiled trailer, but it has repair points on it and fuel. I did download it, but I haven't tried it yet. So yeah, all the special trailers that we had, like I said, the coiled trailer or the construction rig trailer, you'll be able to pull them around, and instead of what's actually on the trailer, it's repair points inside. So I can see where that would come in handy on some of these maps that really beat your trucks up. I'm kind of a little bit worried about starting a co-op mode and allowing people to use the modded trucks and stuff on there. Afraid it'll mess it up. It seems to be a little glitchy right now. I didn't put the puppy dog in this one. Oh, that's right, I didn't have the money. I saved my money up. I've still got probably $300,000 worth of vehicles to buy back. Also, you had a fleet of trucks running back and forth with the rolled steel. Yeah, that's why I figure I'll do that one off camera. And I got 15 minutes tomorrow. I'll just jump on here and do a run, and got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. Packing up my daughter's stuff. She got her an apartment. So I have to take everything to her on January the 8th is when she can move in. So gathering up her stuff and gathering up just the stuff that people don't normally think of when they get their first apartment. Checking with family and friends, see if they have extra furniture. I still remember my first apartment. Boy, was it a dump. I had a 79 Chevy Camaro Z28, and the apartment was above a garage. So the garage was just big enough for my Camaro to fit inside, and I had 2 feet in front of the Camaro, 2 feet behind the Camaro, and 1.5 feet on each side. And the apartment was that size. So it was above the garage. And boy, was that place a dump. But it was all mine. Didn't live there that long. I found out I could do better. Man, I was just thinking I missed that old car. That was a fun car. But when I had it, all my friends had trucks and would go up in the mountains and do all this stuff, and I couldn't go because I had a car. So I ended up trading it for a truck. Which I like the truck, but I like the Camaro better. Then I went out and decided I wanted another muscle car. So I went out and bought a 39 Chevy Coupe. Oh no. Jump. So that was a pretty fun car. It was fully restored. Had a Chevy 350 in it with a 350 turbo transmission. And the guy I bought it off of had taken real good care of it, but he made it basically a daily driver. It wasn't showroom condition. It could have been, and I wanted it to, but I didn't want to. I wanted a daily driver. And had a lot of fun with that car. Alright, put your parking brake on. much for parking brake. Alright, let's take it a little bit easier. Anyway, ended up selling the 39 Chevy Coupe for about $2,000 more than I paid for it, so that was good. Sold it when I went to Italy. Couldn't take it with me. Knew I was going to be over there for a couple of years, so I didn't want it just sitting around. The guy I sold it to had it for about a year and said he drove it maybe 5-6 times and had it parked out in front of his house. He was cleaning out his garage and a drunk driver slammed into it. Alright, winch. And medium pipes, I should be able to pick those up from the front. Turned around. Oh, that's really wobbly. But it has no upgrades on it, so. And right there should do it. And steel metal storage. Oh, okay. I was looking at something, looking at it totally wrong here. So I need one medium pipe. So craft. And get out of it so that screw anything else. Loading zone. Loading platform. One medium pipe and load. There we go. Yeah. A lot bigger than I remembered. Alright, let's see if it can lift it. I have my doubts. May have to turn the truck around. Scratching my paint job up. Yeah, fixed it up pretty good. Lift it up. It really does not want to spin it around. And it doesn't want to lift it up anymore, so. Alright, we'll go with this. And start train. Stop the engine. And start. And pack the cargo. So before I get out here, I want to look at the main block. So cabin, or we delivered that to zone 1, which is there. I do need 4 metal beams, 3 small pipes. So what I might as well do since I'm here is go ahead and load up a metal beam and deliver that also. So craft 1 metal beam. I have 2 metal rolls in stock. It requires 1. So craft that up. Loading zone, loading platform, 1 metal beam. And it's there. And I'm going to try this, but I don't think this is going to work at all. But maybe I can drag it off enough to hook up to it and put it on the back of this truck and then scoot my way down. Yeah, metal beams are heavy. There we go. And anchors. Got to go in crane mode. Close enough. And unpack, repack. We are good to go. I just need to get gas. And not forget gas. Wrong truck. Alright, we're off and running. Pretty painless. So I was packing things in boxes in my daughter's room. Ye old grumpy butt came home. That's what I call my wife sometimes. She come home and she was grumpy today. And again, she does work for the DMV, so that'd make anybody grumpy. But evidently everything I packed was wrong. It has to be repacked by her. Okay. I really didn't want to spend my vacation packing up my daughter's room. She told me she would redo everything tomorrow. Works for me. told you, 25 years of marriage, we've never had an empty house. And I think that worries her. But, you know, your kids grow up, you gotta stretch their wings. I was actually 16 when I left home. Did not have a happy childhood. Still call my mother the witch. She was just a very mean individual. Her idea of punishment was putting her cigarette out on my back. When my siblings did something, I got punished for it because I was the oldest. Yeah, we don't speak. And when I was 16, I left home and basically never looked back. All right, so that one's done. Now let's back up first. Oh, I agree. And we'll go over here, and the main block needed 4 metal beams, so I'm going to start tracking that. Oh, it's behind me. So, what? Oh, I guess I've already delivered one there. I don't know, I've forgotten I delivered one. So for that one more metal beam, 3 concrete slabs, 6 bricks that I have to go around and find. And this truck is lacking in power. And more, I need some small pipes. So I think it's about time we did something else. Start clearing up some of these tasks. And what tasks do we have? I don't want to do those. Warehouse in the mountains. Cargo container and another cargo container. So East Camp. That's not very far away. Ah, but it's hard to get to. So I need a cargo container there and a cargo container over here. So where can I find cargo containers? Way over here. And I have just the truck sitting here waiting to do that. Nope, not you. As of. But I don't know about that. I don't like... I'll try it. I don't like how the, with the crane on here, the bed is so far back. No refuel. Didn't fill me up. So we have to do it this way. So just tested to see if the stack cabins on the roof of the residential area, you can, and they still count. Hey, that'll work. I like that idea. Oh, you found your 4th profile was broken by the update? Lost all outside trucks and all maps reset to dark, but missions are still completed. Wow, that sucks. That's worse than I had it. But I did check all my other profiles, and they were all working perfectly. No issues out of them. Didn't have to redo any missions. All my trucks were, even the ones outside were there. And even the cargo that I'd left laying around was still there. So it's just this profile, or this playthrough. So the same as the first profile last time. Yeah, that really sucks. And on the bright side, it gives you something to do. When I came on here and saw I had trucks missing, I almost said to hell with this game. But I calmed down and realized, you know, some crap happens and you just got to drive on. As a buddy of mine says, you got to pull your big girl panties up and drive on. He said that to somebody in the class one time and they got offended. Oh, that was the start in Russia with Russia only playthrough. So you weren't very far into that one? Oh, yeah, 2 regions completed. Well, and then again, you have to look at the positive side. At least it wasn't 3 3/4 regions completed. That would have really sucked if you'd only had a couple of more missions left. And by starting over, you can play it differently. Because I'm sure there were some areas you wish you could redo. This gives you that opportunity to redo them. When I started my speed run, I got a few videos into it, and actually I think I finished one, might have finished Black River, or most of it, and had a lot of stuff done on the other maps, and I accidentally saved over it, but it gave me an opportunity. I was really ticked about that. But it gave me an opportunity to redo it and do it a little bit differently. So now I'm okay with it. Should have taken to the snow. Across it here. Yeah, that could be an issue coming out of here with that cabin, or with the container. Now that I think about it, maybe I should have went to the other map and got a container. Might have been a little more safe. But I'm already here now. So I believe I'm going to park on the other side and let this truck put the container up there and then get it off with this one. See if that works. Oh, I've only got one cargo container. So it looks like I will have to probably go to the other map. Though there are some cargo containers out here laying around. I just have to go find them. There we go. Gotta be able to get the landing legs down. I thought these were heavier than that. Cabins are heavier, but just the container is not that heavy. Almost bought me one of these one time. Cargo container. Company had a bunch of them and they were willing to deliver them. I was going to make a storage building out of it and a workshop, and talked it over with my wife, and she basically said hell no. So if I wanted a shop, I will build a shop. So I built a storage building and a shop. It would have been much easier with one of these containers, but they were not pretty enough. And it would have cost twice as much to buy the container as to build the building. But it would save me about 2 weeks. Okay, so I'm going to stay over here in the snow. And I'm going to see if I can crash through this tree. Oh, this is much easier. Gotta keep you level. Ah, look at that. No problem. Now I'll flip it. Oh. Alright, but I do need to figure out where I'm going. That would help. So come down, make a right, and go here, and see if I can make the turn. I don't know if I can make that turn or not, but we will find out. What's the worst that could happen? I lost one of my students last week. I had 4 students, training them to do the job. And had one student in 2 weeks missed 2 days of training. And for my job, that's just unacceptable. You can only miss so much training before you have to recycle to the next class, if there is a next class. So this individual, after 2 days of trying to get a hold of this individual, I got word this morning that they resigned. Youngins. As I said, I work for the federal government, and jobs are not that easy to come by nowadays, especially a federal job. I mean, it takes a lot to get somebody out of a federal job. I have written people up for some of the god-awfulest things, and they still kept their job. But people don't like to follow rules. And the federal government has a lot of rules. Made it by that much. Looking over chat. So yeah, gonna start it all over again. Yeah, like I said, you can do it a little bit differently. Every playthrough that I've done, and I've done a few, I've done it a little bit differently. I've learned from the last one and modified it. And even with the speed run, I thought I had these maps down fairly good, and I'd be able to do a speed run no problem. And quickly realized that, holy cow. Okay, quickly realized that even though I thought I knew everything about the game, there were still things I could learn and do differently. I did see a mod that shows you can get on your vehicle, it shows the angle you're at, and I think I'm going to get that and put on one of the trucks and just see if that's something that I would like. Yeah, it shows when you're leaning too much, or shows how much you're leaning, how much you're going uphill or downhill. I think that would be a cool little thing to do, because sometimes you don't realize how much you're leaning, or I think that might be a stupid idea. Take the snow. Yeah, I think that was a better idea. One cargo container, so that you can put all your junk in. Maybe they just want a garage. Don't judge. Somebody else I watch on YouTube is Trent and Allie, and that's the name of their channel. And they do used to travel all around the basically around the world. But I started watching them because they were driving a van in South America, and since see all the stuff that they saw, and they're pretty entertaining. But when COVID hit, they had to abandon their van in South America and come back to the U.S. and they're building a house in Utah. But I just watched an episode. They got their van back, and the van looked pretty good until they got inside of it, and they had made a camper out of it. And somebody had gotten in and just rifled through everything and stole a bunch of stuff. I don't think it's going to let me get back through here. But it's sad that people do that. I can't trust anybody. And really sad that you can't trust shipping companies. But I can sympathize with them because I have been through that. When I left Italy, the movers came and they packed up all my stuff for my home goods and put everything in a container. And I watched them put everything in. I helped them put stuff in it. And one of the last things that they put in it was my motorcycle. And I really love that motorcycle. It was a Suzuki GS 450, but I had the motor bored out to a 550. Went all over Europe on that thing. One of the most comfortable bikes I've ever ridden. And fully restored. It looked like it was brand new, straight off the showroom. And when everything got Fort Bragg, they delivered the container to, I was still in the barracks at the time. I hadn't got me an apartment yet. But when they delivered it, opened up the container, everything was there but the motorcycle. Somebody had broken into the container and took the motorcycle out. So I wasn't real happy about that. And this was back in the when was it? 92, 93? So it was an 82 model Suzuki. So the insurance company pretty much gave me what an 82 Suzuki would be worth. And they didn't even give it to me, they didn't even use the good condition. They put average condition, even though it was fully restored. Which only being, 10 years old, but for motorcycles, 10 years old is a lot. When I got back from Desert Storm, they decided, they shipped a lot of military vehicles over to Saudi Arabia. And when they were coming back, they brought a lot of the vehicles and dropped them off in Italy instead of sending them all the way back to the States. And we were in charge. I had a team of 40 of us. We were in charge of getting all the vehicles off the ship and parking them on the dock, and then moving them to a really huge field in Italy on our base. And that's where they're going to store them in case they needed to go back. But we sat there and watched as we're pulling trucks off and parking them as we're heading back to the ship, which was probably 250 yards away. We watched the Italian dock workers breaking into all the trucks. And we went to our bosses and told them about it, and they were like, yeah, don't worry about it. So just let them take it. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. Come on, load in. Oh, while you're loading, I'll get something to drink. Wow, it's taking a long time to load in. Ever since I had the problems earlier today, anything that looks like it's not working right is starting to worry me. Okay, so I come down here, I'm going to shoot across to the railway station, and I should be able to pick up containers there. And then make the other delivery. And then I really want to do the sunken giant. And go get the other twin steer out of the mud. For some reason that mission's been bugging me. I think it's because I've been using the twin steer so much that I hate to see it sitting over in the mud. And I wanted to take the twin steer to go get it, but I think I need to take a different truck. It's got a crane on it. And pick up some stuff on the way back. Because I'm kind of curious if while I'm pulling it back, if the game will let me jump into it so I can load more cargo on it while I'm pulling it back. I haven't tried that since the update. Normally you can't do that, but it's worth a shot. Now I did see a mod, and I downloaded it, but I haven't tried it yet, for the twin steer that has a crane built on it. And I would like to try that in my fourth playthrough. It used to be the first one, but I just restarted that one, so I have no money. I can't buy it. In the speed run, I don't have that much money in it, so I can't buy it, try it, and sell it. In this one, I definitely don't have the money for it. And I'm really kicking myself for saving over the original. I had plenty of money in it, but I wanted to try modded map. And I wouldn't mind being able to save 6 different playthroughs. I think I would like that. They should add another couple of save slots.